How can we use the science of getting rich to attract clients? There was a book written in 1910 that is still around today and is being read by thousands upon thousands of people. The book that I'm referencing today is entitled The Science of Getting Rich. This book was written by Wallace D. Wattles. The question that is on my mind today is it possible for you and me to use the science of getting rich to attract clients and manifest the business and the life of our dreams? If you're part of my online community, you saw that last week I authored an email about being inspired to do something that I called an experiment. I felt inspired to do this because I have been asking Gus, my new name for God, universe, source, whatever you choose to use. I ask, what is mine to do? What is next? I was inspired to begin this experiment a week ago. I share that I have decided to stop looking for clients, stop working hard, and stop wondering where my next client will come from. I invite you to join me in a new way of attracting clients. By the end of this blog, I will share a link that you can use if you feel inspired to talk about this experiment with me. Right now, I am still open and receptive to attracting my ideal experiment partners. Or are we scientists? I don't know. I really want to meet one-on-one with you to see and feel whether or not you are the right partner to go on this experiment journey with me. If you're even a little bit curious about this experiment, you will have an opportunity to book some time on my calendar by the end of this blog. Because I'm allowing myself to dive deeper into the science of getting rich, I ask myself these two questions. How can we use the science of getting rich to attract clients? And what does the science of getting rich mean by acting a certain way? I will begin with the second question first, and then I will dive into my number one question. I Googled the question, what does the science of getting rich mean by acting a certain way? The first answer that showed up is the statement, knowing that you are creating your own experience with your thoughts and the action that grow out of those thoughts. How can understanding this concept empower us to attract clients? Knowing that you are creating your own experience with your thoughts and the actions that grow out of those thoughts. It is interesting to me that I now realize that this explanation uses the word experience. Initially, when this idea came into my mind as a divine inspiration, I wanted to call it an experience. Now, I'm thinking that I may use the terms experience, experiment, and journey interchangeably. I think that initially, when I thought about this idea, I felt it was an experience. I used the word experience when I felt the inspiration to put this out into the universe because I was inspired and in the flow. Therefore, the term that came to my mind was an experience. I love the term experience. It makes me feel like I'm more in the flow. I'm allowing. Now, because I have some time to think about it, and I entered my strategic, analytical mind, I have since then decided to use the word experiment. Additionally, since the book is The Science of Getting Rich, this can be a science experiment. Now, let me just tell you that you are welcome to use whichever term works or makes you feel better. I will use these terms interchangeably depending on how this content flows to me or through me. I think when I thought about the word experiment, I was more in my mind, and I was more in my doubting mind. I was thinking that I wanted to see if this is true. Therefore, I did almost wanted to prove this to myself. And by the way, you are welcome to do this experiment to test, to prove to yourself, to see if it will work for you. By the way, I'm being truthful with you because I realized that in a process such as this, when we want to believe something, sometimes the belief may not be there. Furthermore, by being truthful, honest, and authentic with you, I hope you feel that it is okay for you to do the same. Let's go back to this discussion now by acknowledging that we are creating our own experiences with our thoughts and the actions that grow out of those thoughts. If you have never read this book, please feel free to read it because the original text is now in the public domain. You may be able to get this book for free. And yes, this book is currently still available online for sale as well. I have read this book several times throughout my life. In fact, this is the only book that I have ever downloaded an app just on the book. So I have an app on my phone's dashboard that is just this book. I started reading this book again more intently a little bit over 2 years ago with one of my mentors. And recently, I've been diving deep into the study of this book with one of the coaches that I recently hired to help me understand these concepts because I want to manifest and attract the wealth and lifestyle of my dreams. Since my own husband has a difficult time believing these type of spiritual and metaphysical concepts, I did a little research on what some actual scientists may be saying about this. I found an article published by Stanford that says, our minds actually change reality. This was a quote by Alia Crum, an assistant professor of psychology and director of the Stanford Mind and Body Lab. Furthermore, I found that 5 Nobel Prize winners attest to the connection between mind and matter, which further advances the view that the universe is a projection of our mind and consciousness. Now that we understand that we create our own experiences with our thoughts and the actions that grow out of those thoughts, I want to ask you to write this down in your journal. That sentence, that thought. If you have been following me for some time, you may have seen my email and blog article on the topic of journaling. You might have read that I started journaling when I was just turning 13 years old. By the way, if you have not read the blog article on journaling, please make sure to click and go back to read that blog. I believe that repeating this sentence and producing your own thoughts and meaning about it will help you to answer the first question that I asked myself. How can we use the science of getting rich to attract clients? By going back to the explanation of what the book means by acting a certain way, we can become more aware that we are creating our own experiences by our thoughts. Being aware of this is enormously powerful to me, especially as a person who is analytical. If you're reading this, and if you're part of my online community, either on Facebook or on email, perhaps you may even believe in the law of attraction, which states that like attracts like. Therefore, if like attracts like, you may also be a thinker, like me. Understanding that you're creating your own experiences with your thoughts should help you to monitor your thoughts. Do you agree? It should also make you think and be more aware of what you're thinking about when it comes to attracting your ideal clients. Ask yourself, what am I thinking about when I think about my business? What are the dominant thoughts in my mind every time I think about attracting my ideal lifestyle? What are my thoughts when it comes to working on and in my business each and every day? By the way, this is where journaling becomes crucial. That is why I want to reference the aforementioned blog. Hopefully, it will inspire you to begin journaling. Truthfully, I had such a terrible writer's block about this realization that I literally could not write with a pen because my writing hand was in pain. I visited an orthopedic doctor to get it examined. Yes, I am a powerful manifester for both good and bad things. Sorry to say that we're always creating our own reality, both good and bad. When this happened, my mentor suggested that I should use Google's text-to-speech. In fact, that is actually what I did when I wrote this blog. This article that you're reading, that you're listening to, was done using this method. I had to use the speech to text on Google Docs, but not because I had hand pain this time. I wanted to be able to allow my mind to speak out loud to get all this down as I felt it. Are you now beginning to understand that we are creating our own experience with the thoughts and actions that grow out of those thoughts? We can journal any questions that come to our minds to see how our past thoughts have created our present experiences. When we have a journal, we have evidence of our thoughts. If we go back to our journal, we can see that we're thinking limited and negative thoughts that have created the life and business that we may be experiencing. Now, if we're not satisfied with the results we have obtained in our business, we know why. I want to encourage you, perhaps even inspire you to move forward, understanding that we are in a good place now. We are in a good place right now because we are realizing that we can resolve the problem of not attracting our ideal clients and our best life because of the thoughts we think. I hope, like me, you are becoming extremely excited and very filled with hope and energy because the future will be brighter and brighter now that we are aware. Now you can proceed powerfully into this experiment with me. We are going to be attracting our perfect and our ideal clients. You may agree that this is all extremely exciting, isn't it? I'm getting excited because I have seen the proof from many people I know that have read and put into practice the principles of this book, The Science of Getting Rich. I have been reading this book, and I will continue reading this book until it is engraved in my mind, my heart, my thoughts, and my actions in such a powerful way that I manifest and attract the business and the lifestyle of my dreams. If that is your hope, I want to invite you to book some time in my calendar by going to go.oncehub.client-attraction-experiment. That is go.oncehub.com client attraction experiment. You'll see the link on my website and wherever I share this audio. Because, I want us to come together to create the business we want by attracting our ideal clients easily with ease. And that's why I'm inviting you to explore if together you and I can attract our ideal clients. And that's why this experiment is so important. I feel that the universe has spoken. God, universe, source, Gus, as I just recently learned that term. And it is suggesting to me that we do what The Science of Getting Rich, Chapter 11 says, which is taking inspired action. So let's take inspired action. I believe that yes, it is possible for you and me to use the science of getting rich to attract clients and manifest the business of our dreams. If you do too, then I look forward to speaking with you real soon. Thank you so much for reading my blog article at bizniversity.com or listening to this blog audio file. Thank you very much. For now, this is Evie Diaz, strategic growth speaker and automated client attraction strategist at bizniversity.com. And I am excited and looking forward to speaking with you because I always love to connect. And let's see if we can move forward together in a very powerful way. Thank you.